Hey everybody, it's LaShonda King, aka LDK Queen King Slays. Welcome to Transparency Thursday. So I had a couple different options of what I wanted to talk about today, and when I was trying to figure out how to decide which one, I just went with which one was harder. Because why? It's Transparency Thursday. All right, so when I was a younger child in the 90s, I love TLC. And they had this one song that always kind of made me feel some kind of way. What about your friends? So today, you all, we are going to be talking about friends. And that's a very sensitive topic for me. So happy Transparency Thursday. So, growing up, I am originally from Compton. I've said that before. And so, I mean, lots of people know about Compton. It's an inner city, has a history of a lot of violence and has a history of resilience and a lot of changes over time. But it's really known for being hood. And I said in my introduction video, I'm a nerd. And being a black nerd in a hood can be a little bit challenging growing up. You can sometimes be talked about for how you speak, for how you dress, for how you act, for the things that you find to be interesting or important, the things you like to talk about, the things that make you all excited. I mean, I call it geeking out. But I mean, so sometimes growing up in Compton, as much as I love it, was not always the easiest. My family also grew up without a lot of money, so I didn't have the cross colors of the Vans, or I wasn't allowed to watch certain things on TV that my friends may have been able to. I was just different. So I was really nerdy. I was a grade ahead, so I looked really young on top of being young. And I also was like a little old lady. I was pretty conservative when I was a little kid, not into all the popular stuff, not easily swayed by other people. I identified at that time as a tomboy, and so everything that I liked, most girls didn't like. I loved car engines. I loved model cars, remote control cars. I love sports, especially football and basketball. I love building stuff. I love being outside, getting my hands dirty. And I never really felt like I fit in too much with the girls. So all those different things combined led to me feeling very weird as a young person. It made me feel very rejected often. And Issa Rae had this show called Awkward Black Girl, and I really resonated with that title and with the show because I always identified as an awkward black girl. And that was challenging growing up, and I feel like there's still some residual effects of that now as an adult. But I'm working through them every day. And so, yeah, today we're going to talk about what about your friends? So, how do we start? I've told you about my past, and in my present, I think that I am blessed to have some really good friends. Fortunately, I've lived in 9 states, so the good friends that I do have, it's not a whole bunch of them, but they live all around the country. So I recently came back to the Bay Area in May, and I have to make new friends. And you all, making friends as an adult is kind of hard. Um, so what have I been doing? I think I was told that I should talk about what the problem is or what that is, but also how I've been working on fixing it. So yeah, so one thing that I have done is been really intentional about thinking about how I want to have new people into my life. So I've been working on finding my communities. So I am part of a sorority, so that's one community that I belong to. I'm an athlete, so I've gone to a basketball pickup league. I've gone to different athletic events. Um, I've been trying to reconnect with people that I already know that are here, maybe connect with some of their friends and see if their interests align with mine. Also, just looking for stuff that I like to do, car shows, uh, paint and sips, different events and activities, and being okay with going to them by myself. That's a little hard sometimes, but I've been working on it. I don't force myself to go to places that I don't want to go by myself, like the movies. But I will go to a basketball game or a football game by myself. I will go to an art event by myself. I will go to a museum by myself. So just giving myself grace, not forcing myself to go to the movies or to dinner alone, but finding places that I do want to go and going alone. Um, Being unapologetic, I think as a young person, I definitely was very apologetic about who I am. Now I'm like, yo, I'm hella blurty. I'm an athlete. I'm queer. I'm a Christian. I'm black. Hear me roar, and I'm good. So I've become more comfortable with who I am, and the biggest thing that's helped me right now is getting better with being okay with rejection. Learning how to shoot my shot. Um, that wasn't easy to do as a young person, but as an older person, I realized that everybody ain't for me, and everybody doesn't have to be for me. So if you struggle with finding friends, you're gonna have to shoot your shot. You're gonna have to be okay with some rejection here and there. And if you are constantly being rejected, you have to kind of take a step back and assess where you're looking for these new friends. Are you looking in places that are aligned with your values, with your interests? You want to kind of have something in common with people. People bond over connection. It's just naturally what humans do. So I've talked about some of the stuff that I do, and I'm going to give you all some suggestions if you are looking to make some new friends too. These are some things that I do or some things that I'm planning to do. So if you're a journaler, I encourage you to think back to when you were younger or when you had the most fun in life. What are some of your hobbies? Because those are important. Write down your hobbies and act on them. Look for ways to actively pursue things that are of interest for you. One good resource is Meetup, Eventbrite. You can find events and shows. There's Facebook. There's travel groups on Facebook. There's crafting groups. There's cricket crafting groups. There is let's stop gentrification and put ourselves together and buy property groups. There's black wealth groups. There's so much stuff on social media these days that you can kind of connect with people that way. One thing that I've always been good at, but I know other people are not as good at, is talking to strangers. So start off light, like go somewhere where you're comfortable. Like for me, that's the basketball game. And if I'm sitting next to someone that I don't know, we're both at the basketball game. We must both like Cal women's basketball. So I say, hey, do you come to a lot of the games? Are you a season ticket holder? Or do you come here often? And if they do, then I say, hey, maybe I'll see you next time I come. What's your name? Just kind of strike up a conversation like that. One thing I've really, really, really had to realize right now as an adult is that not everybody is for me. How to cut those ties early so that I don't go back into that rejected mode and keep it moving. There's lots of friends in the sea. I just have to go find them like Dory. Yeah, don't have a scarcity mentality. Don't hold on to bad people. Don't hold on to bad friends because you have a lack. Go find good friends. Go find good people. Talk to the people who you're already friends with. See if they have friends in the area that you can connect with. But yeah, do something, y'all. Let me know how your friend search goes. Let me know what you struggle with in terms of like finding new friends. What's worked for you? Because I'm going to read these and see if I can apply some of these things to my life. I don't know. I think that's it. Happy Transparency Thursday. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Queen King Slays. And also follow us on YouTube here at LDK. This was a longer Transparency Thursday than I was expecting. But hey, this needed to be said because LaShonda needs some friends. Okay? Have a good day. I'll see y'all next week.